Mr. Madison, please.
Thank you very much, Madam President, dear colleagues, and dear our Ukrainian friends in the chamber who are visiting us here. First of all, we are very, very sorry for all Ukrainian children and families who have lost their kids for the Russians and who are kidnapped or forcibly deported to Russia. I would like to mention, because I have a few minutes here left, to mention some kind of statements of the Russian propaganda, what we have heard for the last 2 years. And I'm afraid that there are very many people in Europe and maybe few people in this chamber who also are believing this kind of propaganda. You have heard probably in the TV channels or in the social media that the Russians are actually protecting those kids because they are taking them away from the war zone and keeping them alive and safe on the Russian side. And that's why they are like the real heroes and saviors, and we should be very thankful for the Russians that they are taking those kids from the Ukrainian side to the Russian side. But the problem with the Russian propaganda is that there are normally like 5% something truth, and 95% of this is absolutely false, as a fake news. And it's also one of the fake news. So it means that for the Russian propaganda is that you are attacking the neighborhood country, you are killing them, you're trying to occupy them, or you try to force them to do whatever you want they have to do. And then you say, that, okay, but I will take those kids, thousands of kids on the Russian side, because we are the saviors. So we are the good guys actually here. So, and there are people who are really believing this kind of things. The second thing about the mentality of the Russia, and it is nothing new that they are deporting the people. It is nothing new of the Russians that they are deporting the people on the Russian side. That's the old tactic. I would like just to remind you, in about 10 days, there is an anniversary of the mass deportation from the Baltic countries. It will be 75 years when almost 100,000 people were forcibly deported to Siberia, to Russia, and very many of them died there. And the Russian propaganda they're still saying today that actually it didn't happen, and if it happened, actually they were the bad people. They were the capitalists who are too rich and they're taking money away from the poor people. But the fact is that 80% of them were kids and women. So I really don't believe that the kids and women are really the capitalists who are like the labor people are forcing to the job. So it's an old tactic for the lying and using the propaganda. And the problem, of course, here is now that we are doing too less and too late. I was listening very carefully also to Madame from the Council, and it's very beautiful and nice that we are opening all investigations. Yes, we are putting the legal procedures forward. It's great. Yesterday, I hope that you have watched this already. Yesterday I was watching again the best documentary movie this year, 20 Days in Mariupol. I don't know how many of you have seen this. If you haven't seen this, you have to watch this. You have to watch this. And the problem is that all the world is seeing, they're killing the small kids. They're destroying the city. We're watching on the news, and then we're saying that, yes, but we have to open an investigation, by the way. We have to take legal steps. The problem is that we are taking too little steps to give the military aid to win the war, to really push back those Russians who are the real guilty and who are doing this kind of war crimes. That's the only solution to end this war and help kids. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, Mr. De Graaf.